Okay, I'm going to speak about the three P's now and how they can reduce the effects of an earthquake. Starting off with protection, please talk about in Japan, they specifically have these life-safe buildings. You need to be able to speak about a couple features, maybe even just one. So you can talk about the computer controlled weight, which is placed at the top of the building. It keeps the building upright and prevents it from tilting, as it can detect the kind of motion of movement. The weight moves in the opposite direction, holding the building upright, preventing huge loss of life. Now you can talk about the steel cross bracing, or you can talk about the rubber shock absorbers. You mentioned how they absorb the kind of like the shaking that the building feels, therefore preventing glass shattering, preventing objects from falling, reducing the risk of injuries and death. You might have forgotten about this P, which is prediction, and it usually goes with monitoring. But actually, we're going to say that actually you cannot really know when an earthquake's going to happen. So you can't predict it, and they can happen without any real warning. So we monitor them. What do we use to monitor them? We first of all, and you mentioned seismometers. Seismometers, again, just briefly, you need to say that these are methods of technology that detect ground movement. And when they detect ground movement, you can really say that actually it could be used by the government to know it as a warning, and therefore that will help with any form of evacuation plans. You could also look at historical records. Remember, historical records, looking at the previous patterns of, let's say, earthquakes that have taken place in the past, and then knowing if they will be kind of occurring or if it's building up to a big one. The last P is called planning, which is or preparation. Now, the easy examples to remember of planning, which is an earthquake preparation day on the 1st of September in Japan. Now, let's have a look at what they do. So you must mention on the 1st of September that they have drills. Drills such as drop, cover, hold. Here are some of the images that show that, they will kind of drop, cover their heads and hold on. And these are all drills, so they're not actually the real thing. But why are they doing the drills? That's what you really need to be able to say, and say that they actually are preparing for the real thing, therefore reducing that risk because they're educated now, knowing what to do in a real thing. Other examples that you could so easily talk about, which is actually for planning for an earthquake, people can kind of almost stockpile on long life food. They can create these emergency kits. I'm going to show you now what could be included inside an emergency kit. Usually, as we can see, they might have radio, they might have, let's say, a torch, they will have like food and medicine. But again, mentioning all those things are not just going to get you the top marks. You need to really be able to explain what the benefit is. I would say that actually many people could be stranded without support for days, and therefore essentially this kit allows them to survive before any help arrives, and they could be without help for a very long time, people.